guys, I have to tell you about actually really a heartbreaking situation because my friend is moving away, and not just moving away, going to the military. And can I tell you guys, have you ever been shocked by being heartbroken about something you didn't think you were going to be heartbroken about? Because that's me right now. And I might cry in this video, but there's a reason I want to share this with you guys because it actually links in with just everything I say about winners and losers and life and how life works. And I just can't believe and the reason why I'm getting, I think, emotional today is because they're going today. And anyways, let me tell you guys the story because so I'm really sad. I'm really trying hard not to cry about it. And you'll understand why in a second. Anyway, so let's start with how this whole thing came to be. You guys know I've been going on and on about, I just, I'm not into this, relationships thing. I think love don't live here. I don't like it, right? And also at the moment, my focus is on getting us to the promised land. I'm like, God, if I have to choose, I'm not going to really delve into any kinds of relationships in a deep way until I know we're getting to the promised land, because we ain't doing all this and then having to try and enjoy all these things in amongst the world. I'm not participating in that. So this is the priority. So for that reason, I have strategically, kept all the people who I talk to on a regular basis are all outside of this country. And that's purely because I just can't be the friend that people need right now. And I say that to everybody. I tell them, I'm like, look, hey, because people always say, oh my gosh, we should catch up, we should. And I'm like, look, I love you with my heart. And I love you enough to tell you that I'm not in a season of my life where I can be the friend you deserve. And I just tell that to people, And I think a lot of people, they get it. And it's funny how when you actually communicate things, this is what I'm saying about communication. People actually work with your communication because a lot of people are not, okay. They just get on with it. Anyway, and so I strategically kept my friends outside of the country, right? And also it works for me and my schedule because nighttime, as you guys, it's when I come alive and the sun is setting. That's when I feel my inner just whatever rising, and I'm usually awake through the whole entire night, right? So it's perfect. Yesterday I was talking to my friend. She lives in New Jersey in the States, and she called me and it was 5 p.m. for her. It was 11 p.m. for me, and she was like, are you sure it's not today? I was like, girl, this is the perfect time to call me. So anyway, I end up making some friends in this town, right? Which you guys know I'm skeptical about everybody here. I'm skeptical because of so many things. So anyways, this is how it goes down. And there's this guy and this girl. I know the girl because she happens to work at one of these shops, right? And I and her, we didn't really talk, but we used to kind of just, talk a little bit, and we were kind of cool. And I was also surprised that they allowed a woman to work at this shop, to be honest with you. So anyways, me and her were pretty cool, and we started to be pretty cool. And then one day I see her out, and she's in the car, and she's with him, and I'm out, doing my things late at night, right? And as in me just being me, and late at night I like to go out, listen to music, be in the dark, be in the cold, be in the winter. Even just now I was in the shop, right, and this lady is looking at me, she's like, how are you not cold? Because obviously I'm wearing shorts. How are you not cold in shorts? And she's there wearing layers, and she's freezing, and I'm just and I was I'm actually sweating, even now I'm I'm not to tell everybody, I'm just really warm all the time, okay? And I honestly think it's because as soon as I start to think about the things of God, I just feel fire in my body. I feel so much fire in my body. So anyway, so I see them and they stop and they're like, hey, do you want to come hang out with us? Because I know her, whatever, and I saw him, whatever. And then so I had a little conversation, whatever. And I was like, oh, I actually can't right now because I actually had to do something. And so then they were like, okay, cool. But then, that's when I exchanged numbers with them. Anyways, so we started to hang out, right? And it was perfect because busy people. And so they finish work late hours. So if any time we would meet up, it would be after 10. Perfect for me. Because I'm first of all, I don't like to socialize in the daytime. I just don't. I feel it's just too much. And I just have found that people who I tend to gel with tend to match my energy in terms of their people who are either up really early in the morning or really late at night, right? So it worked out. So anyway, so we started to hang out and whatever. And I wasn't really thinking too much into it because we're all just really busy. We barely see each other. We'll see each other maybe once a week, once every other 2 weeks. We don't really talk about anything that serious. And we just hang out and just have a fun time. And then everybody goes back to their busy lives, yada, 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 whatever. Anyway, so we all started to get a little bit closer. Me and this guy got super close because of the religious ties, I guess, in a weird way. And also our views on a lot of things, because like I said to you guys, this guy, he's Muslim, right? And he's Turkish, right? So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So we get into all these debates, right? And it would always happen, like, because he'd be like at work and he'd have like 40 minutes off. He'd be like, hey, I'm down your road. Like, do you want to meet up? Should we go and like grab some food? Do you want to go do this? And I'm like, yeah, sure. What the hell? Why not? And we would do that, right? And we get into these debates, into these conversations, and we talk about a lot of stuff, right? And I started to feel like, wait a minute. Because you see, the thing with me and everything is I'm with anyone, and this is my problem. I don't know if I actually think it's a woman thing. I'm not interested in anything and anyone until I'm interested. And that goes for all types of relationships, right? I'm not interested until I'm interested. So like anything that can be happening, like, this is like even when I'm like having like more like non-platonic experiences with guys, they could like all of the stuff that they're saying about their bank account, their whatever properties they own, whatever height they are, and however much I'm breaking my neck, however handsome, crisp their beard looks, well dressed they are, good they smell, like funny they are, like whatever it is, intelligent, you know what I mean, caring, wanting to build a family and all this, right? However much of all of that, it's all just nothing until it's something. Does that make sense? Like, it's just nothing until it's something, as in until there's something that intrigues me to actually respect you as a person, right? I don't really care about all of that. And I think it's because I'm just somebody who cares about substance and not like the external things in all relationships. And that's why I think I'm somebody who doesn't really get into relationships, because I find people are very superficial. Like, I don't want to talk nonsense. I want to talk about either we're going to have a good time and an actually good time, or we're going to be like doing what we need to do in life. You know what I mean? Literally work hard, play harder, right? So that's my whole ethos. So I'm like, okay, a lot of people, you can't really play hard with them because people don't really play very hard. That's my thing. People are kind of just very tame. I've said this before. I think everyone's really tame, like really just tame. And I'm tame, like in comparison to what I could be. But I still find everybody to be really tame. When I'm like, let's play hard, I'm not talking about doing heinous things, guys. I'm just saying, like, let's just do some stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Let's just like do some stuff, you know? Like, I really want to skydive. I've been saying this, and the reason why I want to go skydiving is I want to see what that level of anxiety is going to feel like, because I was a scientist. It's all science related. I want to see how that level of anxiety is going to feel and how that's going to compare with me trying to trust in God, and like how that's going to feel. B, I'm curious to feel in my entire body the feeling of terminal velocity. Like, I'm obsessed with that idea, because obviously you jump and then you hit terminal velocity. I want to just feel that in my whole entire body, in my every being. And I also just want to see if I've got the bollocks to do it. So yeah, so these are the types of things where it's like, oh, what do you want to do at the moment? What's the thing that's like you most want to do? You want most want to spend money on? I'm like, give me go skydiving. You know what I mean? Like, let's do something fun. Let's just like, you know, let's just push the boundaries. Let's just like test ourselves. Let's break out of our shells, you know. But people just want to do tame things like, let's go for dinner. And I mean, dinner's cute and all, but like, anyway. So yeah, I find people tame. And then when it comes to being serious, people are not very serious either. Everyone thinks they're so serious, but no one seems to be saying anything. So I remember one day he was saying something and he was like, he crashed out, right? And he crashed out about just like how he doesn't understand how people in this country don't realize how close they are to war and this. And I was like, praise Jesus that somebody's awake. Praise Jesus. Somebody's seeing it. In all of the 21 years I've lived in this country, can I tell you, this is the first time I've spoken with somebody who seems to actually look at this, be able to see what's actually happening around us. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. Oh my gosh, it was like the best thing. Like a boost to my self-esteem was through the roof, right? As a result of this. These are things that just happened over time, right? Because we didn't know, all of us as a group didn't know each other more than a year. This all started in like March last year or something, right? Anyway, so I'm like, oh my gosh, thank goodness someone sees it. Someone gets it. Like, we need to get serious. Like, I'm wondering why no one else seems to see a sense of urgency, right, for like everything. And like I'm talking to everything. And also, we're all the same age, might I add. So that was another thing that made me think, because then he told me which school he went to, like, because he also went to another secondary school here. And I know which secondary school he went to, ironically. And I was just thinking, oh no. What if he heard some rumor about me? Because let's not forget that this is what happened to me. And I know a lot about what happened at his school, but he's a dude, so he doesn't know, does he? But I know stuff about people at his school in our year group, right? And even not just our year group. I know a lot about a lot of people. That's always the funny thing, yeah, as well. Can I just say, funny thing about me throughout my entire life is I've always been in a position where I'm seeing people go out there and make up stories about me, right? And meanwhile, I know actual physical proof stories of so many people, and I just don't say anything. I just don't tell anyone. I just keep it to myself. That's why it's insane to me, because it's like, if we really want to go there, like, that's why I've been saying even, yeah, I've been like, if you really want to go there, like, that's why I keep saying that to everybody. I've kept receipts throughout my life. Like, you know, back in the days of BlackBerry and all that, I've got screen munches of people, guys. I've got conversations. I've got things. I'm so strategic because I know the world I live in. Before even I came here, I strategically do certain things in certain ways so that I have a paper trail. I have incriminating, no, I'm joking, not incriminating, not like criminally incriminating, but like, if you want to come up against me, I have receipts on everyone. I just like to say throughout the years, I've kept them. That's why even if anybody wants to try and come up from me at secondary school and talking about this, I have the receipts. Like, all these conversations, I've got them to this day. And they're even in folders. So test my gangster, I dare you. That's what I'm just saying. I'm trying to just do the right thing here. But if you want to turn this into a bloodbath, if anybody wants to try and pull me out and try and call me out in front of the jury of the sheeple, bearing in mind, by the way, I'd just like to also add that on another episode of I Hate It Here, Diddy had a jury. I didn't know that, right? So it was, again, the jury of the damn sheeple why this guy got off so easily. Story of my life. Anyway, why did I even go off there? Yeah. So anyway, so I was just surprised. But anyways, whatever. So why did I mention the school thing? I don't even know. I don't remember. But anyways, why did I mention the school thing? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. The point being, I was impressed. And I was like, wow. Because you guys know I don't really respect anyone. That's why I'm saying that when people are saying stuff, like, even when people are like, oh, like, we should do this, like, oh, we could be friends and we can, like, I'm just like, it's just all in the air. Like, because I'm just like, there's nothing of substance happening here. It's all just, there's just a bunch of nothingness, right? Like, where is anything of substance in this world? Like, that's basically what I'm saying. So anyways, as time goes on, right? So he's had this crash out and I'm like, this is like, when I tell you I had a moment in my life I had never experienced in all of my life, like in this country. I was like, it's doable, it's possible. Like, and it was a really huge moment for me. It seems like such a small thing, but that's what I'm saying, because I'm so used to just dealing with the drones and people who are like, they're not that serious, they're not that fun either. It's like, at least if everybody was serious and that seriousness was producing something, I'd be like, let's all go and do that, right? And at least if people were playing hard enough, I'd be like, okay, well, you know what? It'll be fun. But actually, just no one's doing anything fun. It's all just dumb and dense and tame and boring and cold. You know what I mean? This is why I was thinking with the lady. I was like, yeah, I'm not cold because I have fire burning within me. I have life in my bones. You know what I'm saying? This is why I go days I'm like, oh, I don't even feel like eating. Like yesterday, I was like, do I even want to eat? Like, because I've got life living within me. I've got fire burning in my body, right? Like, for the Holy Spirit. Like, I'm not dying. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm alive. And I'm walking amongst the dead. Like, I'm in the Walking Dead. Like, oh, this is the zombie apocalypse. So anyways, he says this and then he apologized. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, like, but he didn't like shout or anything. He just crashed out. But he wasn't shouting or anything. And I was like, oh, no, you don't have to apologize for that. And I just sat there because I didn't know what to do with myself. I was just sat there in silence, like, and I just had this look on my face of like, finally! I didn't want to make a big deal about it. So, you know, I had to act cool, as you do. Just play it cool. But inside, I was thinking, come on. Like, I was, you know. Anyway, so, yeah. So, anyways, as we ended up we used to talk like a lot. And this is why I got upset, right? Because it's when he told me that he was going to now go to the military, right? He's like, I'm going to go over to the military. I'm going to the military in January. He told me this a couple months ago. And I was like, are you kidding me? And like, not to do with me. Like, this is actually the part where I mentioned why I'm telling you guys this story, right? I was like, are you kidding me? and because his reasoning was, I feel like I need more discipline in my life and I'm not doing enough. I'm like, my friend, you work 3 jobs, right? You get up early in the morning and he drinks a cup of tea and reads the newspaper every day, which I think is really wholesome. So opposite to me. Like, he's really wholesome guy. I'm not wholesome. I've said this to you guys. I'm not wholesome at all. I'm not wholesome. As I said, his idea of taking off a break is he's going to go home and he's going to wake up in the morning and walk to the bakery and buy some bread and drink some tea. And then he's going to spend some time with his mum and then go to his barber's. And he's just like doing this. That's his idea of what he's going to do, right? Before he starts. My idea of taking time off is the first thing I'm doing is in the start of the morning, at the very first thing, at the butt crack of dawn, is I'm putting myself through the most ruthless workout possible. Like, I better be near throwing up. I better be near death. Because that's what I want to do in rest. I want to start at actual maximum capacity and then gradually throughout the day kind of mellow and then do something else like that, because like that's what I would like to do, just loads of activities. He's like, all peaceful, I'm gonna go and see his family and catch up with his friend and do all of this and do all of that, and I'm just like, okay. So yeah, he wakes up in the morning at butt crack of dawn, has his tea, reads the newspaper, starts work at 7, finishes at 4 at his first job, then goes to he does 3 whole jobs, right, in a day. He's like financially supporting all his family. He's the oldest of 3 boys, right? So you can imagine that. I can only imagine that's got to be a billion times worse than it is for me. At least I'm a woman, so and so he pays for all this stuff. He pays for where he lives, where his brother lives. His dad came to visit him. He's there now. He's paying for everything. He bought his land and where he comes from. He's done all this stuff. He's got all this weight on his shoulders of looking after everybody, and he's overextending himself for everybody around him, right? This is the main reason I even actually started to hang out with them, or even just hang out with him whenever he'd be like, hey, I'm in your area, are you free? Because I'm like, I need to check this guy's alive. I need to see that he's okay. Like, because I was actually worried. Like, I would look at him at the end of the day thinking, you look so exhausted. Like, are you okay? And has anybody even bothered to ask you today if you're okay? Like, because like you don't look like you're okay. So that's actually what kept me there, because now my emotions got involved, because I was like, I need to like pray for this guy, because I don't know if anybody's actually looking out for him. So I was like, yeah. So and it's typical, this is what I'm saying. It's like, it's always the people with the purest of hearts, with the purest of intentions, overextending themselves for everybody, and like nobody's really like looking after them. So I was like, I need to just make sure this guy's okay. So realistically, most of the time at the beginning, before I realized, I was really just kind of checking up on him. Like, it's my excuse to check up that he was okay. I was like, he's one of the good guys out there. Like, he's what I would class as an actually good guy. You know what I mean? He's got pure intentions. He's not asking for nothing from nobody. He doesn't make excuses for nothing. Like, he's working hard at the things he wants to do. And after all he's doing, he's come to the conclusion he needs more discipline. And I'm like, why is it always the people who are actually the good people that think they're not doing good enough? And the people who are just the riffraff of the world, yeah, have every excuse in the book, think that they're the ones who should be putting themselves forward for everything. They're the ones that are forcing themselves onto everyone, the riffraff. But it's the people doing the work. Because I'm thinking to myself, you've got to be kidding me. Of course it would be him that would think, I need to do more and I need to go and fight for my country. So the last time I saw him, right, oh my gosh. The last time I saw him, but I got it. I got where he was coming from. He was like, well, because this and this. And the thing is, that was like the undertones of all of us as a group, is we all realized that our lives as we were living them were just not working. And so that's why we're enjoying hanging out, because we all just got to like ignore our lives for a little bit, right? And how it just doesn't make any sense. So it was something was always going to have to give. Like, I always knew there was a timer on this whole group scenario. I always knew there was a timer on it. Like, I knew that, because I was like, we all can't live like this, because this isn't livable. Like I said, I would look at this guy and I'm like, you can't live like this. Like, I would be so worried like that. Oh my gosh, is he still alive? Like, genuinely speaking, I'm not even joking. I would be genuinely worried, like, and genuinely praying for him and all this stuff, right? I mean, I pray for everybody, but there's some people I especially pray for, because I make more time to pray for people I feel like nobody might be praying for. Because there's a lot of people who a lot of people are praying for, and it's like, good for that. And I will pray for you if I have the time, but I'm going to always prioritize people who don't have people praying for them. Just like in life, I'm always going to prioritize helping people who don't have people. So that's why, like, I rather spend my time. If I know you, a person that I know personally, has a community, has a family, has a whatever, I would rather ignore your message, right? I know this is going to sound horrible, but this is the truth. I'll ignore you for the sake of, I bump into somebody like who's homeless and they've got no one and they're just there. I'd rather spend 2 hours talking to them and like getting to know them and like making them feel like they've been heard, than I would, and I'm willing to upset other people. That's the thing. I've accepted that. I've accepted that's a part of my role in the kingdom. I have to be prepared to upset people when it counts, because it's like, what's more important, me appeasing somebody who already has other people to go back to, who already has a house of people that are looking after them, who already has other friends, already has a community, has a church, has, whatever, versus somebody who has nothing. Like, I need to give to the person who has nothing, you know what I mean? At least whatever I can give. And if that is my time, then that's what I'm going to do. So that's also one of the main reasons I'm missing in action, because I'm actually spending a lot of my time with the people who I feel like people don't make enough time for. Does that make sense? Like, so that's one of the main reasons, like I said in the very beginning, even though I was just like, about this whole us all hanging out, as a group or whatever. It's like, it's it's fun, whatever. But I wasn't just like thinking about this, and I was like, we could meet up once, and we could all meet up once and never again. Although we did, like I said, keep meeting up as whatever. Anyway, so I was already worried about him, and so when he said that, I was just like, I didn't like it, right? And I'm glad he told me like months in advance. And he was like, I'm gonna go and do it. I'm gonna do it, and I was just like, no, you're not. Like, no, you're not. Like, this is this is not happening. But then I will say this, and this is the the kicker. This is the bit that it upsets me the most. It's this last final bit, right? So the last time I saw him, which was a couple of days ago, we'd all met up. Well, actually, when did we all meet up? Oh yeah, okay. So we all met up on New Year's Day, which again, love these guys. People are genius. Everyone knows I don't want to do no Happy New Year. So it was 2 a.m. and then they all messaged me. They're like, yeah, you want to meet up? And I was like, this is perfect. The dust has settled from all the excitement, and I don't have to participate in that. So that was great. This is what I'm saying. It's nice when you, and again, this is, of course I was awake. And of course I was coming out. What the heck? But you call me in the afternoon and I'm free on at 2 p.m. I'm gonna be like, I don't know if I can do it. Even if I was free, I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. But if they call me at 2 a.m., I'm like, yeah, you're available. We're all meeting up. We're all gonna go do this. I'm like, how long do I have? That's what you always say. I'm like, how long do I have? Because I'm like, I need to get ready. Anyway, what was I going to say? The last time I saw him, right, anyways, he was just telling me, like, about his, because I said to him, I was like, you better make sure to come and see me before you leave, right? Like, before you, like, leave, because I know that this is the end of this, like, for good, right? Which is sad, because he's like become the only person that I like in this town, in this country, maybe. Like, genuine respect, if that makes sense. Like, genuine, I love everybody. There's many people that I love, but in terms of like genuine respect for somebody's character, like, he's probably the only one. What is going on with this? He's probably the only one, because and also, as I said, we go back and forth all the time about our beliefs, I mean, because he's Muslim, I'm Christian, and it's really quite fascinating to us to have that situation because we just have and this is again what I'm saying, because his pride wasn't in the room, right? And again, it's because he has pride within himself. Like, that's what I'm saying, he's a winner. This is why we ended up just kind of gradually, hanging out all the time, because he's a winner. So he doesn't have anything to prove. He doesn't have to like bark his thoughts. We can like disagree. We can sit there and have adult conversations. We can agree to disagree. We can just talk about whatever, and no one actually cares, because his sense of self is not in me acknowledging him as whatever. He doesn't really care, because he's sure of himself within himself. Does that make sense? And so, I mean, we even had a funny moment actually at New Year's, because there was a whole group of us. One of his friends had come down from another part of the country. And then he comes to me, he's like, my friend, he thinks you're really nice or whatever. And I was like, oh, here we go again. And I was like to him, I said, I don't think this is going to happen. Like, and he's like, oh, just give him a chance. He's a nice guy. I'm like, yeah, you would say that. Like, but I don't think so. And then his friend says something. I'm not going to say what actually, do you know what? He said what he said, right? Actually, I'll tell you what he said. So his friend, yeah, oh, God bless him. Bless his heart, because he was just this like, and it made me realize how much of like respect comes from somebody's character, and how much it changes the way you see them, because we're all age mates, right? But the way this guy was behaving, it made me feel like, oh, I'm talking to a little baby, a little Bambi, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, Bambi. Because he was like, he was trying really hard to be really nice, and he was trying so hard, and he was trying this, and then he goes to me. It was a really, really funny, this whole situation, because he goes to me, the friend of the friend, goes to me, I've never been with a black girl. It's been years that I've been wanting. I was just like, that's the number one most red flag thing anyone can ever say. And there's not a single chance in heaven, or even hell itself that you have a chance now in any capacity, because door shut. Don't, even if that's the truthful fact, that's another story for another thing. But to be like, and I've been running this for 3, 4, and then I just stayed silent, right? Because I'm me and I have a sharp mouth sometimes. So I just sat there like this. And then it was the funniest moment between me and my friend, because then he was silent, and he goes, mate, you can't talk to women like that. And it was so funny, because I was like, exactly, this is what I'm saying. And this is why because he didn't get it before. He's like, but he's a nice guy. And he says, I'm like, exactly. You get it. He doesn't. You're not in the same, you know what I mean? Like, do you see what I'm saying, you guys? This is what I'm talking about. All these things, they're like intrinsic. Like, because I didn't have to say anything. I just sat there quietly smiling. And I was like, I don't know what to say. I didn't know what to do, because what am I supposed to be like, oh my gosh, let me take your black girl virginity? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, realistically, anyway. Also, that's just weird. Like, I don't like, because for me, I've throughout my life, in all aspects of life, friends, whatever, I've always been around all the different races, and I do have my like I said, in my other video, I'm an equal opportunity racist. There are definitely specific things I notice about specific races, but that doesn't, I just don't like, I think to say don't see color is stupid, because it's obviously a thing, and like, we all have different skin colors, but like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, this person tried to, the only one that, there's only a couple of times that it surprised me. When I went to Poland was the one that surprised me the most, although I say that I know a lot of Polish people that are with, other people, but I say that because I've got into an airplane and there's like all Polish people here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is insane. And so for a guy to bust around the corner and happen to be sitting next to me and be like, hi, can I take you out? I was just like, what? I didn't expect that. So that one shocked me. And then the other one that shocked me was this guy from, where was he from? This Japanese guy a couple of years ago. In fact, there was 2 of them. Anyway, those surprised me. But anyways, and that's just because those are places I more consider there's less just black people there, if that makes sense, as opposed to racism. So I'm not big on the race thing. Like, I'm just like, whoever is whatever, but I will say that there is like commonalities, of course. We all know that. We'll be dumb to pretend that isn't the case. But yeah, so that was just a dumb comment anyways from that guy. And I was just like, you just ruined your entire chances. And so then, yeah, me and my friend, it was just really funny. I feel like it was quiet, and it's like I could hear his brain, the cogs in his brain ticking of him realizing who his friend was in real time. And that his friend just like, and I was like, yeah. But yeah, so anyways, he was telling me anyways about how he's, his president Erdogan, who, Donald Trump is meat riding, which I didn't understand really why, but then I could see because he was showing me on the map. And this is why I love getting to know people from other cultures as well. This is exactly why, because he was explaining everything to me, he was showing me the map. He's like, this is the map of Turkey. This is where this is. This is where this is. This is why these people want to do this here, because they're obviously in the perfect space. They're showing me like, we've got the Black Sea here. We've got the Mediterranean Sea here. We've got this here. We're connected to everywhere. And I was like, low key, I see what you're saying. It's no wonder that Donald Trump said about 20 times in the interview that he was showing me, they're like, yeah, me and Erdogan, we're like, he's my good friend. He's my good friend. Like, he said like 20 times. And I was like, okay. Somebody's obviously, before I knew why. Anyways, he schooled me on all of that. And then he was telling me about Erdogan, and he was like how he would die for his country. So my friend saying he would die for his country, how much respect he has, how much Erdogan has done for the country. So when he said all of this, I was feeling inspired. I was like, wow, what a man. Like, and I was like, go for it. Like, I got it. Like, I was like, if I had somebody or some people or something in this world, like, that was worth dying for, like a leader that I respected to the degree he's respecting this guy. He's like, I'm dropping all of this, all he's worked for. I mean, even has his car, right? He's got his surname on his number plate. I've never met anybody more patriotic and proud of who they are and where they come from like an internal thing than this guy, right? This is what I'm realizing. And he's just proud of who he is. He's put his own name on his number plate, right? His surname. I'm like, I'm trying to get rid of my surname as soon as I'm trying to get rid of both my names, actually. He's out here like telling the world, like, this is my name, this is my surname. He's out here like, I'm dropping everything that I've done. I'm dropping everything and I'm going to fight for my country because I would die for my country. And I was like, where is this energy from anyone these days? Like, seriously. And where are the leaders worth fighting for? Because it was like those two things made sense together. That's why I can't even be mad at it, because I'm like, oh, fine, you should go, you know what I mean? And honestly, you know, that is something worth fighting for. Like, all this effort he's putting in, I could tell, like, that's what I'm saying, that it was all inevitable, right? I could tell, like, this effort he's putting in, it's not producing, because that was kind of, I guess, what we were both struggling with, that same thing of like, you put a lot of effort into things. It's like, what's being produced isn't good enough. Like, it's not good enough, the output. And you're just not the type of person that wakes up every morning and thinks, oh, you know what, it's not good enough, but I'm just going to shove that to the side and we'll just like not worry about it. And we'll just die going to heaven having not contributed absolutely anything of value. No. We just can't operate that way. It's like something has to give. And well, he found his thing. He was like, you know what? I'm doing it. And then so I remember when he told me, he's like, okay, I bought the tickets now and it's going to be, you know, today's date. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to go. And I was just like, wow. Like, again, it's always the freaking people, like the winners of the world, right? Who are always the ones that putting themselves literally on the front line. It's always the good, pure-hearted, the good men and women of the world putting themselves on the front line. Because he was saying to him, I was like, we should be sending in the riffraff. We should be sending in the riffraff to risk their lives. You know what I mean? And it's so upsetting. Like, and this is what upsets me. Like, that's what's making me upset about it all. It's like every time, it's always the good men and women in the world who are putting themselves on the line every time, right, for a world, and leaving the freaking riffraff. I was talking about this yesterday in my favorite anime, Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. Like, the kids, I'll tell you, for spoiler alert, most of them die. They succeed in their mission to like get the laws changed for children and people. Yeah, but most of them die, and the freaking government takes all the freaking, all the glory for it, as if they weren't doing everything to fight against these kids while they were traveling through outer space, right, for a good cause, as if all these kids didn't have was just each other, and they built their own family amongst each other because they'd had their families torn away from them, and as if they hadn't watched their friends die trying to get that Leia Vignana surgery, right, and all this. And they were fighting for good reason, as if they weren't the most stand-up young men, because they were like, well, we made this promise to this woman to bring her to Earth, and we don't know how. But because she was promised that this group would do it, we should do it for her, even if we don't know, because those are the kinds of people. Because that was what the guy who led them of the group. Bearing in mind, he was like 15 at this time. He's like, we have to decide what kind of people we want to be like, and this is the kind of people we want to be. We want to kind of be the people that when we say we're going to do something, that we do it. You know, and I was just like, wow, like, and this is like I'm saying again with this guy, I'm like, you're the hardest, literally hardest working person I physically know, right? At our age, right? And not even at our age, just in general in this country. And you're the one who's woken up and gone, oh, you know what? I need to go do more. I need to go and fight for I need to go and literally die, put my life on the line for my country. And it always be like that. And you know, the riffraff are thinking right now, they're thinking, I don't think I could do it. I've got to save up. I've got to save up for my holiday, or, I don't know. I don't like to talk about politics, because this is the thing as well. We and him, we're doing the number one rule against all of Britishism. I love making up words that don't make sense. Because anything is anything. The dictionary.com word of the year last year was 6-7. So this is why I'm like, I don't care what anybody has to say about my English, because it's all fake. It's all fake. YOLO is official in the dictionary. Riz is in the dictionary. Are you kidding me? Anyway, yeah, we did the least British, we built the least British relationship possible, which is when predominantly our conversations were about religion and politics. Predominantly our conversations were about religion and politics. And I think that's why we're both having such a fun time, right? Getting into these debates, because they would go on for hours, and then like we're showing each other stuff, and it was just so interesting, like to just pick the brains of somebody else who thinks fundamentally different, with a completely different kind of background to me, with a different belief system, you know, and whatever, and like just go back and forth about just different topics. And I even threw him as well would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter question. It was really funny. Stuff like that. And like, this is what I'm saying is what builds things, because you learn things. And I gave him the book 48 Laws of Power because he needs to just wise up. And I told him, I was like, look, listen, you need to wise up, okay? But this game of life, I didn't say it like that, but he's just too nice. I didn't say it in those words. I just said, like, look, some people, they're going to always be jealous of you, because he does go through things where, like, because that was the other thing we had in common, was that we both had, like, not wanted to get involved in certain TV things because of our own beliefs, because he had been, like, let's just say his friends had encouraged him to send in an audition for a particular very extremely popular dating show, and bro got the thing, but he was like, I got to turn it down for his beliefs. And I was like, bravo. In fact, that was the first moment where I actually, like, I started to think, oh, because I was like, this is now somebody who, this is my kind of people now. Like, you can turn down the things of this world, this opportunity, because you know that for the sake of your own beliefs and values, it's not worth it. But he does have the look of that show. Like, he does look exactly like what you'd expect on that kind of show. You know what I'm saying? Because he's got that kind of kind of like, I don't want to say the words, but anyways, whatever. And he's gone. He's going today, and I'm just like, I just can't believe it again. Why is it always the freaking winners always putting themselves on the front lines? Like, even Jesus did the same thing, right? And it's the flipping riffraff just swaying the dew of the sheeple, just taking up oxygen. Oh my gosh, running the world, and it's always the good men and women of the world putting themselves on the front line. It makes me so sad. It makes me so sad. In the same way you have, like, all of these leaders in the body of Christ, so-called, all of these religious leaders, right, who are enjoying themselves, and then we all sit there judging. Like, one of the churches local to here, they were like, you can't be a church member if you're a convicted felon. Excuse me? Do you know how many convicted felons did whatever they did for good reason? Do you know how many of these young boys that I met were making money because their fathers weren't in the home and they were watching their mothers crying and struggling? And so the reason why they were going out thieving, or the reason they were going out drug dealing, is because they felt now all the pressure on the weight of their shoulders in their dysfunctional homes. Do you know how many people are in prison because they went and they beat up the person that hurt one of their family members or did whatever? Do you know how many stories of that? Do you know how many stories, like, the amount of stories I've heard of things, like, where I'm just like, you know what? People thieving, you know why? Because they actually can't afford things. A lot of people didn't get given the tools in life. They didn't get given the things, like the simple things you might think of, like writing a resume or how to dress at an interview. A lot of people don't get taught those things, because those things are supposed to be taught in the home. Those things are supposed to be taught by the village. So no, I'm not judging people for these things, right? But we judge those people. So, oh, convicted felon, you got convicted 20 years. I'm seeing people going away for like decades and whatever for consensually selling things that used to be legal, right? Now you can go to prison for 10 years, right? For selling cocaine, right? In this country, I don't know how many years now you could get for that, right? But once upon a time, the generations that came before us were just drinking that in their freaking Coca-Cola mixed with wine. That's what it used to be. Coca-Cola, cocaine, and what is it? The coca plant, and then what was it? The coca? Yeah, anyways, it was in there, right? They had to take it out now because now it's illegal. One day it was illegal, now it's legal. But now because you sold that, oh, now you're a convicted felon. Are you kidding me? Are you dumb? This place is stupid. You're sending people to prison because what? They went and killed the person that R-worded their daughter. And then when somebody is having all underground tunnels doing this, that, and the other, all these people coming up shouting out, we give them a slap on the wrist. 4.5 years, the jury of the sheeple said that they found him not guilty on account of the RICO charges and all this other stuff. Get out of my face with this world, bro. Get me out of here. Get out of my face with this world. This place is stupid. This place is dumb. If I had all the money in the world, it wouldn't be enough money to pay me to be worth it to actually have to be here. That's why the devil can't offer me anything, because it's like there's nothing in this world that makes being here worth it, because this is how stupid and dumb and dense. And now here we go. My good friend, the only person who I actually was like respecting and whose presence didn't offend me. Because the more he was talking, the more I was realizing why. I'm like, do I actually not feel like exhausted after about 2 seconds? And I was like, because I'm actually like, oh, we're on the same wavelength here. You know what I mean? We're actually on the same wavelength. Like, I'm actually talking to a winner. So like, and this is not usual. So I'm like, oh, this is why, like, I will drop everything. Like, I drop whatever I'm doing whenever these guys ask me up, or if he asks me to meet up, because I'm like, I'm in an energy space of something I can work with. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, anyways, guys, he's gone. In a month's time, he will be starting. obviously I'm going to be praying for him and whatnot. And obviously I'm so proud, and I'm honestly gassed for him, like, to be honest, because that's honestly a big ball move. I think that's a big ball move. He's like, I feel like I need more discipline. I'm not going to stop you, mate. Because listen, if life's a game, we've got to keep leveling up. And if your current rate of progression isn't good enough for you, then that is a great place to be. So I've got to be in favor. Like, I started out, I was really sad about it, and I am sad about it, right? Don't get me wrong. However, at the same time, I get it. Like, when he was showing me about his leader and he was showing me Erdogan, like, now I know who this guy is and all this. Now I know about him. I'm like, I like the guy. Damn, I like the guy, because he's telling me about what this guy does for the country. And, like, he's also younger looking. Like, when he was sitting next to these other presidents, I was like, he's not that young. He's 71, right? But to me, 75 is when you get old. So he's actually still, so I'm like, and he's there and he's looking quite young. He was explaining to me like about how he is with the people, how much everybody love him there. And so he was like, he wants to go and fight, and he wants to go and put his life on the line for his country. And damn, they're getting a good one. They're getting a good one. They're getting a good one, because another one of the freaking damn good ones is going to put themselves on the front line. And that's what upsets me. That's what I'm saying is upsetting me so much. It's always the good people putting themselves out there, putting themselves on the line. We saw that from Christ, who actually demonstrated that, putting his literal life out there for all of us. Because when this guy was telling me that when the words "I would die for my country" left his mouth, I could never not relate to a feeling more, because I don't feel like I have a country. I don't feel like I have an identity anywhere. I'm African, but I'm not accepted there. I've grown up here, but I'm not British, and I'm an American citizen. And I don't fit in anywhere. So I'm like, it's really nice to actually see somebody who actually can like identify with something and have something and a people that they feel like they can fight for. Because I feel like, anyways, if I fought for any of my people, nobody want me anyway. This is why, and that's why I fight for the Lord, and that's why I do put my life on the line for the Lord. So that's where I do actually get it, because I'm like, I get it. This is why I make all the things. This is why I'm willing to risk everything. I'm willing to risk losing everything, losing every opportunity, every relationship, anything. I will risk it all for the Lord. Like, that's why I get it. I've just taken that same energy and I've applied it to God, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I always like to say, like, I don't care about the leaders of this world. I don't identify any of them as my presidents or my prime ministers or my nothings. None of them. Jesus is my president and my prime minister. And Jesus is my president, my prime minister, my governor, my councillor, my senator, my member of parliament, my everything, my judge. Like, he's Jesus. Yeah. And that's where I'm at. So that's why I'm also, in a lot of ways, putting my life out on the line, in a lot of ways, in my own ways, to just say, I would do it. Like, whatever it is for the kingdom, I've had to think about it. Like, what would I do for the kingdom? Like, what would I do for God? And I have to not just think about it. Like, and this is just a message to us all. Like, then I guess we'll finish with this. Really think about, like, what you are willing to die for and what you're not willing to die for. And when you do, live your life intentionally towards that thing every day. Because it's very easy to get caught up. Like, this is why I love anime, because they fight to the death for each other on that team, the Straw Hats on Luffy's ship, right? Did I show you guys this? This is so cute. My brother got me this for Christmas. How cute is this? Look. My 16-year-old brother got me Luffy. And it's Luffy with his outfit from Dressrosa, which happens to be my favorite story arc. This is honestly, I've been looking for things like this for a particular thing that I'm working on. I love it so much. This is the coolest thing ever. I just think that's so precious. And it was one of those, it was like a blind opening, so you didn't know who you were going to get. I would have been happy with anyone, but the fact that I got Luffy, and Luffy with the Dressrosa outfit, my favorite story arc. Are you kidding me? But yeah, like, you gotta want to be prepared to fight for the death. So think about it, guys, because it might seem like, because me and him would talk about it like all the time, how we're at the edge of war. So like, we all need to think about where we plan on being. Like, this is why I'm living in anxiety, and everybody else is wondering why I'm so anxious. I'm like, because I'm like, anything can break off at any given moment. And I need to make sure I know what I'm doing, where I need to be, who I'm fighting for, and how I need to fight. And the fact that nobody else seems to be that stressed about it was stressing me out. So that's why I like talking to him and talking to somebody who's also, and again, because he reads the newspaper every day, he knows it's a load of hogwash, right? But he still reads it, and I'm grateful for that, because then I don't have to, I just wait for my weekly news bulletin, and whenever I see him, I'm like, you just tell me what's going on in the mainstream that I need to know. And then because I just can't be bothered, you know what I mean? And yeah, and so, damn. And how inspiring. I feel so inspired. Like, he really did inspire me with this big move. When he said he bought the ticket and he's like, yeah, I bought my ticket and it's one way. And I was like, wow. Bro's not joking around. Bro's not playing games, which I know he's not the type to do that anyway. So yeah, guys, wow. This is what I'm saying. While the riffraff are licking their wounds, making excuses, as Marcus Rogers said, is one of the chapters of his book, always the victim, never the vessel. I'll never get over the titles of the chapters of that book, but I think that one was my favorite. Always the victim, never the vessel. And he's another one putting himself on the line constantly, you know what I mean? Out there saying things. He's been saying things. He went to war as well. I feel like there's something about people who've been to actual war that just changes them. Because I remember he started his YouTube videos. He would be in his uniform, in his car, in, what was it? Was it Vietnam? He was there in his car, like in his uniform, making videos about God before any leader was doing it. For any church leader, any pastor, everybody was still calling the internet the devil, just like they used to call caffeine the devil. And now everybody's doing Bible and coffee. We'll have teas and coffees, at least in this country. Teas and coffees after church and your biscuits and your cakes and whatnot. But coffee used to be the devil when I was like, you know, up in the assemblies of God and Pokemon with Pocket Monsters, demonic, Harry Potter, demonic, caffeine, demonic, you know what I mean? Everything demonic, right? Yeah, now we're all doing that, right? So he was doing that and he was at war. He was in war. And I really feel like the fact that he actually went to war and like was out there and trained and everything is why now that he's taken those skills and he's applied them into the kingdom, why he's so powerful and he's so capable of doing so much without having to take advantage of people. Because he's been there. Like, he's done the damn thing. He's like the real deal. A winner. Anyways, you guys, Flash Games Play to Win. I'm glad I didn't cry, but I do feel emotional. But I feel emotional in ways where I'm just like, I'm honestly genuinely impressed. And I really feel impressed by absolutely anything. And I'm like, this guy really done the damn freaking thing. Because of his leader. He was that impressed by his leader. And he was that serious and that patriotic and that dedicated to his country. He's giving up everything he's worked for and all the things he's doing. All to go and fight for his country. Wow. Wow. What a man. Anyways. If life's a game that's pay to win, God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. I got to get my butt in gear now as well. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, like I say to you guys all the time, you come across different people and every now and then you meet people. This is what I'm saying. We can't entertain the riffraff of the world. And there's people like him. There's people like some of the friends I've made all over the world at the moment. You guys, individual in question. And I'm just like, well, why are we wasting time with anybody else? But again, all these people I know, they're all the ones breaking their backs. Even my friend I was talking to, the one she lives in, one of the ones who lives in America. Everything she was telling me about, I was like, girlfriend, you are the one with the weight of the everything on your shoulders. I was thinking, you know, and that's why, again, I was making time for her because I was like, again, I don't know if anybody is making time for her. I don't know if she has a place where she feels like she can speak. I might be the only one. So if I'm going to use my time and I have the opportunity to use my free will, well, this is how I'm using it. To the people I feel like are just taking on all the weight of the world on their shoulders, you know, and like really doing the damn thing. Because she's doing the damn thing. Like, she's doing the damn thing. Like, people are out here doing the damn thing. Anyways, you guys, I'm going to leave that there. I know this is so long. I've just got so much to say at the moment, guys. I'm going through so much with the Lord and it's just really hard to try and be more concise. I wish I could, I promise. I think it's going to be my only video today anyway because I haven't even been deep with the Lord because I've just been just all over the show with so much going on behind the scenes. Anyways, you guys, if life's a game, let's pay to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one.